Hey, my name's Jake Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We've got another stunning admission by this government, which is crazy, and that's that they haven't really looked into the consequences of part of the Renters' Rights Act. Now, this is getting infuriating because there are multiple times now where they haven't looked at what's the consequences of what they're actually rolling out. You see, this Renters' Rights Act is only a few short weeks away now. You've got lots of landlords leaving the market. You've got lots of tenants getting Section 21 notices. And then to hear that the government hasn't even done any studies to see the impact really is frustrating. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what's the latest problem with the Renters' Rights Act that they are announcing and what implications this will have on people looking to rent a property. But before we jump into this, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do subscribe to my channel over there and hit that bell notification. Join over 50,000 subscribers who get all the latest house price news, interest rate news, property investing tips, and much more. And help me get some views on this video. Your part in that is simple. All you need to do is smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that really does help the channel grow. So thanks to everybody that does that. So, the Renters' Rights Act. There was a letter in Parliament, a question in Parliament this week that went to Matthew Pennycook, the Housing Minister. And that question is, what happens if a tenant asks for a pet and a landlord just says no? Now, you say that there's got to be a reasonable consideration for it. But what happens if the tenant just doesn't agree with that answer? Well, we've got an update on what that will be. And that will be an ombudsman. So they, as a tenant, will be able to take you to the property ombudsman. And that will be a hearing. It's like a lower level court. It's less formal, it's less expensive. Often both parties don't even pay. It's kind of like a mediation service. So the ombudsman will be the next step. Now, have they done any feasibility studies just to see what happens if they roll this out? No, that was also admitted as well. This is crazy that we're even talking about this stuff. And so they haven't done any idea on what would happen if everyone gave Section 21s. We're starting to feel that now. There's already, for example, Brighton Council are saying so many people are given Section 21s. We don't have enough temporary accommodation to house them. This is a problem. They're now admitting that they don't know what would happen if lots of people have disputes about pets. Is the ombudsman going to be able to cope with the influx of cases? Because there's going to be other stuff going through the ombudsman as well. It's not just going to be all about pets. And so that's a consideration here. Are you going to overwhelm the system? You've also got the consideration that in the Renters' Rights Act, the biggest thing that landlords don't like is the removal of the Section 21 no-fault evictions. So what that means is that you can't now give 2 months' notice via Section 21. You now have to go via Section 8. That goes through a court process. That can take up to a year already in central London before the Section 21s have even disappeared. And that is already going to overwhelm the courts, I believe. I think it'll go up to 18 months very quickly. And so this is crazy that the government have rolled out such a big, important piece of legislation without really thinking what will happen. The next bit of legislation that they're looking at that could have a similar consequence is the EPC stuff. And so over the weekend, I've seen in the news, Ed Miliband is getting a lot of pressure now from unions and other places to back down on some of this energy stuff, to get the oil fields open in the North Sea. Part of that could be that they maybe, hopefully, back down on this EPC stuff, or maybe delay it a little bit more. But this is the problem. They're just rolling out stuff that they feel is popular. And the Renters' Rights Act is popular. Don't get me wrong. Tenants are going to be voting for Labour because of this. They will see that this is something that they feel Labour has done that benefits them. But when you look at the consequences, when you look at the shrinking rental market, I think this is going to be a problem. So the Ombudsman is the next step. Does this roll out on May 1st? No, this doesn't. So the disputes about pets, if you ask for a pet and the landlord says no, this will be rolled out in what they're saying is called Phase 2 of the Renters' Rights Act. Now, they are saying, Matthew Pennycook is saying, Phase 2 of the Renters' Rights Act is going to be the end of 2026. Now, I don't think that that will happen. I think that that will get delayed, because I think what they're going to start to see is that Phase 1 is going to cause a lot of problems, and they need to relook at this stuff and actually figure out what is the consequences, rather than just figuring it out after the problems start mounting up. And so what I believe will happen is May 1st, Section 21s will be gone. Then I think you're going to start seeing the courts back up quite quickly. So any tenant that needs to have any sort of eviction because they haven't paid the rent, because they've damaged the property before, because they've had antisocial behaviour, or a landlord just needs to get the property back to sell, that stuff's going to all start going through the court process. And I think the fact that London is already at 12 months waiting list when you can still serve a Section 21 shows to me that this will get backlogged very, very quickly. So the Renters' Rights Act is pretty much here. There's no stopping it. It's not going to get delayed. It's not going to get changed. It is going to roll out on the 1st of May, Phase 1. But Phase 2, I think that that will get some sort of delay. I think the government will see the consequences of their actions, and I think they'll have to slow it down. I don't think that Phase 2 will be implemented by the end of 2026. You see, for Labour, the thing that they want from the Renters' Rights Act, the thing that gives them the headline that they're after, is abolishing no-fault evictions. That's in Phase 1. So that gives them a massive tick. The speeding up the process and getting the rest of it done isn't such a priority, I don't think, for them. And I think they'll take their time, see what happens, and ultimately see that some of this stuff is backfiring and not working as well as they potentially thought. So what's next is we'll see what will the next part that we will hear. They didn't really figure out or work out if that was the right thing in the Renters' Rights Act. It'll be interesting as more questions go into Parliament. Do we find out that they did no feasibility studies on any of this stuff? Probably. And that is going to be a problem. It's going to be a mess. But the Renters' Rights Act is only a few weeks away. Still, loads of landlords don't even know that they've got to get this thing across. The Renters' Rights Act information sheet. You've got to get this to your tenants. Very, very important that you do. As a tenant, you want to make sure you get this. Be fair to your landlord. Maybe give them a nudge if they haven't got it to you yet. You can grab a copy if you're a tenant or a landlord or anyone that just wants to see what's in it. 4 pages. It's in the description, so grab a copy while you're here. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Do you think the pet stuff is going to get rolled out properly immediately at the end of 2026, like they say? Or do you think it'll get delayed? Do like the video and subscribe, and check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.